but we set up Doge.
Yes.
How much do you think we can rip out of this wasted $6.5 trillion Harris-Biden budget?
Well, I think we can do at least $2 trillion.
Yeah!
Yes.
$2 trillion.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're being taxed. You're being taxed. All government spending is taxation. So whether it's direct taxation or all government spending, it either becomes inflation or it's direct taxation. Your money is being wasted, and the Department of Government Efficiency is going to fix that. We're going to get the government off your back and out of your pocketbook.
Central monopolist with another central monopolist. A lot of commercial banks aren't terribly excited about that. Maybe you're going to have to give some ownership. Maybe you'll have to give 50% of your ownership to the 20 banks that are now, part of this. I mean, there are other ways to build incentive systems. Maybe you put a native token in there, and you give them the native token. So there may be other incentive ways to beat the current monopolist. But I, having been around commercial banks for a long time, they really are looking for ways to replace their aggregators in their back office, whether it's clearing, settlement, exchanges, credit agencies. But they are deeply understanding, because they are pretty ambitious and very good at making money as well. They deeply understand that every idea that's pitched to them is somebody who currently is small but wants to get big and gain market power. So they're also always thinking about how to ensure that there's a check to slow down your startup from gaining market power 5, 10, and 15 years from now. They don't want you to be the next clearinghouse like the Chicago Mercantile Exchange or Intercontinental Exchange. They don't want you to be the next central node of market power. So you might share some of that with them, or you might find an incentive system.
If I could just note something about you. You mentioned you're hearing about the recent events in the markets, and I would note there were 3 banks that failed in those handful of days, those 4 or 5 days. And 2 of those banks, the first and the third that failed, Silvergate and Signature, were engaged in the crypto business. I mean, some would say they were, crypto banks. And the third, the biggest, Silicon Valley Bank, actually, when it failed, you saw this country's, the world's second leading stablecoin, had $3 billion involved there, DPEG. So it's interesting just how this was all had some crypto narrative as well. So we already know in the U.S. and in many other jurisdictions that 3/4 of the market are not ICOs or not what would be called securities. Even in the U.S., Canada, and Taiwan, the 3 jurisdictions that follow something similar to the Howey test that we've talked about, 3/4 of the market is non-securities. It's just a commodity, a cash crypto. So you'll hear debates about initial coin offerings and what's a security and what's not a security. Relevant and important debate. But for 3/4 of the market, it's not particularly relevant as a legal matter, as a regulatory matter.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting more right now with Bloomberg's Sonali Basak. Sonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. And they finally start to cut rates. And we know Japan is going to start raising rates. And those trillions of dollars that are sitting in money market accounts are going to start flowing over to the emerging markets. And we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction so they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And we have Bitcoin, cryptos, and stocks moving up. Just about everything's in the green. But guys, we know this is a big tech week for stocks. So that means tech stocks and cryptos are going to be on a roller coaster ride this week. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. So make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates right now moving up. We have the dollar slightly down. But like I stated, this is a big tech week. A lot of calls, a lot of puts are going to be in, which is going to bring a lot of volatility to the market. Now we have volume and crypto up. We have Tether and USDC. And then, of course, we have the Fed. Repo at $227 billion. Make sure you're pulling it on a daily basis during the week. And we are less than 2 weeks for the election, and we're less than 2 weeks for Jerome is going to be in the house. And we're going to get an important inflation report this Friday. And Jerome Powell stated we'll get a 25 basis point cut in November and December. But of course, if inflation is not moving in the right direction, then they could pause. So the only thing you have to do is sit back, get your popcorn, and let it play out. Now, this article states that CBDCs and crypto could coexist, and we already see it. It's been happening. We see the central banks testing out these utility cryptos, and a wonderful example, make sure you watch the video I did last night, is Chainlink. We are clearly seeing how the central banks are embedding this technology in their systems. It's just going to get SWIFT to all CNI, bringing all these chains together. And like Gary Gensler stated, they'll use your technology, but they're not giving up control. And that video I did last night is a perfect example. And also, it lets you know this technology is clearly ready. And that's the reason why the drums are getting louder. They only need that crisis in order to bring in all this technology. Whether robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs right now are up. But getting over into a little crypto news, we have Bolivia's third largest bank, Banco Bisa, launches USDT custody, allowing clients to buy, sell, and transfer the stablecoin. And again, we see the emerging markets and South America turning to stablecoins due to their dying fiat. And because the dollar has been used as a weapon, plus all this inflation, stablecoins are the best choice for the emerging markets and South America. Guys, I also did a Patreon video last night. Make sure you watch it, because the drums in the mainstream media are getting louder for a reason. Now we have FTX agrees to drop lawsuit against Bybit and $220 million settlement. And months after FTX goes down, all of a sudden they have billions and billions of dollars show up. It's unbelievable. Remember, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. You can't make this stuff up. And then lastly, we have Elon Musk says he will ensure government annual spending is cut by $2 trillion if Donald Trump is elected president. And when it comes to Harris and Trump, we see all the clowns coming out. I don't think we've ever seen this many entertainers come out and be a part of this political circus. But we have Elon Musk, who's supposed to be running all these companies, have time to talk about cutting $2 trillion in the deficit. This is the same man that's receiving all this money from China. And China is supposed to be our adversary. Remember, we're in a Marvel movie. But Elon has been exposing the truth the whole time. He's been exposing the fourth industrial revolution without telling you all this technology, robots, algorithms, drones, and then cutting the deficit by $2 trillion. And those who are conscious know this debt is not real. They're printing money off the printing press. And if they're cutting $2 trillion, it's not going to hurt the corporations. Who's going to hurt? The people. All these tax cuts that Trump talked about is for the corporation. He knows these robots, algorithms, and drones are about to take over the economy. You're going to get the benefit just for a short while until they're ready to flip that switch in America for the fourth industrial revolution. We can clearly see the technology is ready. And once we get another crisis, those machines are going to take over the economy, and the sheep are going inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But guys, all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Xrp, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.